Hey, and welcome, welcome. So if you are catching this on the replay, make sure you hashtag replay so that I know that you were here. My replay viewers are everything. I certainly do appreciate you. When you hop on, let me know who you are and where you're from so I can shout you out and say hello. And feel free to skip ahead about 1.5 to 2 minutes to get to the content. So while you are jumping on and Facebook is doing its thing, I'm going to share this out to a few places and invite some people to the broadcast. So give me just one moment while I do that. And while you're waiting, you can grab a pen or a notebook and also invite a friend to this as well. Okay, so let me get to, all right, there we go. So let me get to where I can share this out and get ready. Hello, Dr. Stephanie. All right, I'm gonna get to where I can share this out now. Oh my goodness, I'm over here doing new stuff. And so you know what happens when I do new stuff? It doesn't exactly go well the first go around, so it takes me a minute. All right, I'm getting there, y'all. Hold on just 1 second. So I can share this out and invite people. That's what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Drive safe, Dr. Stephanie. All right. Let me get this to a few of my favorite places, and then we're going to be ready to go. All right. And one more spot, and I'll be ready to go. Okay, I do believe we are ready. Okay. So first, welcome to Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. And I take the time to answer all types of tax questions. Today's question is about business coaches. Are business coaches considered independent contractors? And do you have to issue a 1099? Well, that all depends. Okay, so so let's talk about the 1099s. All right, the reason you would issue a 1099 is if you have a business payment of $600 or more. And generally, if you have a business coach, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be paying more than $600. So then the question is, do you have to issue them a 1099? And it depends. I know that's a nice, that is a really nice direct answer, but unfortunately that's the truth. So let me give you a couple of examples. All right, so if it depends on who you're paying and how they are taxed, all right? So if you are a business coach, so let's say I have a business coaching program. If you are writing the check to Lysandra Everett, then you're going to issue a 1099. If you are writing a check to Lysandra Everett LLC, that depends on how that LLC is taxed. So because if an LLC is taxed as a corporation, for instance, you do not have to issue a 1099. It all depends on how the person is taxed. So if I have a coaching program through Lysandra Everett Incorporated, then you don't have to issue me a 1099 for my coaching services. However, if I have a single member LLC, as far as the IRS is concerned, the LLC is a disregarded entity. So if you are a single member LLC, you are considered a sole proprietor, self-employed, therefore you get a 1099. If you have a partnership, meaning you have a multi-member LLC that is taxed as a partnership, meaning you haven't elected any type of corporate treatment, if you are a multi-member LLC, so let's say if me and my girlfriend Aldrima had a multi-member LLC, we would be taxed as a partnership. If you wrote a check to Lysandra and Eldrima LLC, and we have an elected corporate treatment, then you would issue a 1099. So it really just depends on how the entity is taxed. And unfortunately, that's just not a question we ask, right? When we're hiring a business coach, the last thing we want to know is how are they taxed? That is the last thing we want to know. Only thing that we want to know is, can you help me get to where I want to go? We're not thinking about, hey, so how are you taxed? Are you a corporation? Are you an LLC? Are you a partnership? We're not asking that. We don't care, right? That's the last thing we care about. But unfortunately, this is something that we really do need to care about, because although in the hierarchy of things, this might seem like a minor thing, it can really turn out to be really turn out to be a pain, because if you're supposed to issue a 1099 and you don't, you can receive a penalty for that, all right? So that's why it's important for you to understand that, first thing you need to do is, once you hear, over $600 or more, then that needs to be, a bell needs to go off for you, to ask the person, are you considered self-employed? Do you have a partnership or whatever? So that you know if you're supposed to issue a 1099 at the end of the year. So it doesn't matter if you pay $600 all at once, or, over $600 throughout the year. If you're paying somebody $60 a month for coaching, $100 a month for coaching, if by December 31st, you have paid over $600 to that person, then you may need to issue a 1099. So if that person is incorporated, has a C corporation or a small business corporation, then you don't have to issue a 1099. But for the disregarded entities, the LLC, you may have to. So the rule of thumb is this: when in doubt, issue the 1099. You can't over issue a 1099. You're not going to get fined for issuing a 1099 if you weren't supposed to. However, if you are supposed to issue a 1099 and you don't, you can receive a fine. So if you don't know, issue the 1099. Now, how do you get these 1099s? You order them from the IRS website, or some office supply stores sell 1099s. Do not, under any circumstances, download an image of a 1099 off of the internet and fill that out and give it to your independent contractor. Do not do that. You can receive a $50 fine for each one of those that you issue. So don't do it. Okay, so order them from the IRS website, or get them from an office supply store, because they are barcoded, and that's how the IRS reads them, okay? But so, if you don't know how that business coach is, has their business structure set up, issue the 1099. You can't go wrong doing that. And if you have QuickBooks or, some sort of accounting program that's going to help you keep track of your independent contractors, that is all the better, because that's going to help ring that bell for you. And I know that QuickBooks, I think QuickBooks has a 1099 component to it, but I'm really not sure, exactly how that's issued, because I really don't have to. I really don't have to issue any 1099, so that's why I'm saying I can't tell you exactly how that works. But some people do. If you have, for instance, if you have your own product and you pay affiliates, well, if those affiliates earn more than $600 in commissions, then you have to pay them a 1099, okay? Cernolia says that QuickBooks does have a 1099 component to it, okay? So that's gonna help you be able to issue those 1099s on time. The deadline is January 31st of the given year, okay? And then there's penalties for if you're late. So let's just not be late, right? Let's just not be late. Get them in the hands of your independent contractors. Get them filed with the IRS, okay? But yeah, so the only thing I can tell you is this going forward is, when you're over $600, equate $600 with 1099. Ask the pertinent questions of your business coach to find out, if they are self-employed, meaning that they might be a sole proprietor, at which you have to issue them a 1099. If they're a single member LLC, you have to issue them a 1099. If they are a partnership, you have to issue a 1099. Only with C corporations do you not have to issue 1099s for $600 or more. So when in doubt, issue the 1099 to definitely be on the safe side, and you have no worries. Okay. So, so I hope that, that helps to, clear that up a little bit about the 1099s, because listen, unfortunately, this is one of those things that you can get into a lot of trouble, meaning that the fines can be really steep when it comes down to 1099 to the tune of millions of dollars, depending on, depending on the severity of, just not doing it. Okay, seriously. So it's not something that you want to screw around with nuts and bolts. Okay, so get your, now's the time. Go ahead and get your 1099s ordered. Get them ordered from the IRS website. Go ahead and get them from the office supply store so that you are prepared, so that you can issue them on time and stay in compliance with the IRS. Okay. So I really hope that helps you out. Thank you so much for tuning into Tax Talk. Again, we air Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish, and we talk about the things that are important to home business owners. All right. So make sure you share this out, you guys. Share this with your friends, because we're going to be going live from the Home Biz Tax Lady fan page. All right. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.